Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of HRD 631, The Adult Learner. We are starting today, week number 9, and as you know, we have 14 weeks in the class, so we're really making progress. Before we get to the week 9 materials, I want to say I just hope that everybody had a nice break from this course. Maybe you went somewhere, maybe you didn't, but either way, I hope you had a little time to recharge and you're all ready for the final stretch in the class. So let's get right to it. So what we have in week number 9 is really about cognitive development. And if you look at what are the specifics for this week, we have chapter 13. We also have an electronic reserve article on Perry's scheme, book excerpts, which you've already read, but that's part of the discussion forum. I said before the break this would be part of the discussion in week number 9. There is a YouTube video, and what I wanted to talk about on a little bit was this thing coming up next Sunday, Exploration Project, the Annotated Bib, and the Learning Organizer. So you can read all of the information down here. We also have our project presentations are coming up in weeks number 11, 12, and 13. And there's a sign-up sheet that I'll show you where that is located. We have a pretty small class, so each one of the weeks are going to be manageable. So, this is not a live presentation. This is in effect, a week-long presentation. You present, not even present. You put your materials in a discussion post, and I'll show you how to do that. And then really you facilitate the discussion throughout the week. So read through the materials in here. Here's the Perry Scheme YouTube. So there's a couple of parts to the exploration project. The first one is the submittal of the annotated bibliography and the learning organizers. This is 30 points. And it's due next Sunday, the end of next Sunday. So if you need a little extra time, we're getting to the point in the semester that it is important that you try your very best to get the assignments due on time, because what happens, we're in a condensed period where I will get everybody's annotated bib and learning organizer. I will grade them by who's going first, who's going to be, in effect, presenting in week number 11. And so you have plenty of time to take my comments. Oftentimes, what you put in the learning organizer is a lot. And sometimes my suggestions are dial it back a little bit, because what you have here is probably enough for 2 to 3 weeks. The materials and the actual presentation, once again, the presentation is not a presentation. You are just facilitating our learning. And then we have the learning autobiography coming up, but I will pass over that at this point. So here's the discussion questions, the annotated bib learning organizer, and then there's a video on both of these. I encourage you to take a look at that. There's some samples. And then down here, once again, we have an introduction to week number 9, the learning objectives, and in here we have the sign-up sheet for you to facilitate your week, and I will click on that. So here's the sheet. So we have week number 11 starting on the 7th, 12th, the 14th. Oh, I made a mistake here. This is the 21st of April. So I can see we already have a couple of people that have signed up. You'll notice that there's only 3 spaces in this sign-up sheet. Once you do it, you get out of it, it's a Google Doc, so once you get out, your information will be there. And if you're uncertain if it is there, you can always get out of this page, then come back to it, and you'll see your name in it. So once again, we have 3 weeks. The first week we have 3 people, second week 3 people, third week I think we have 2, but it can be any combination. But the most we're going to have in any given week is 3. So let me go back. Come back down here. So here's the sign-up sheet. And there's some additional materials in here. You can click on that. It's not critical, but feel free to do so. So while I have everybody here, the exploration project examples and exemplars, please click on that because there's really good information in there on all the way from the learning organizer, the annotated bibliography, and I just did want to show you something kind of in real time. So a couple of semesters ago, I got permission by one student, Lori Frederick, who has given me permission to share her materials. So really what this is from that particular course. You can see she submitted, this is the same thing that is due on March 30th. She submitted her learning organizer, annotated bib, and some additional information. So she put together something already for the project that's coming out. That was not required, but I wanted to show you, first of all, her example of the annotated bib. And once again, this is an exemplar. Wasn't opening, so I will put this in the exemplar area once I download it, and then from there you can take a look at it. So once again, I'll put Lori Frederick's learning organizer and annotated bibliography, but let me go back for a second. Let me go back to our course, but before I do that, I do want to show, so this is where Lori put her materials. And this is going to be the same for everybody in our course. There's a video on Brightspace on this, but I will give you more information in the next 2 weeks on how to load your material. Basically, you're setting up, I will set up the shell. You will have a discussion forum, so just say I'm in week 1, it would be Kevin Doran exploration projects. All materials are located here. So as you can see, Lori put all of her materials. This was her question. She created this just like you do in any other discussion forum. So here's the agenda that she put forward. Complete the presentation, watch this story, Kanban board presentation, and then participate in the discussion. So all of her materials are entered in here. And once again, I will show everybody how to do this. Start off with the annotated bibliography. So here's her annotated bib. And for those that are not very familiar with it, these were the references, and you can see she used the hanging indent. These are perfect references in APA. And then she gave a little snippet on each one. This is a 9-minute video showcasing common traits, blah, blah, blah. So she had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you can read through the syllabus. You can read through the rubrics on how many are required. But once again, what it is, the references, and then you just write something. What was this particular TED Talk about? So let me go back for a second. Exploration project, the presentation, Kanban. I'm going to go in here. Nope, that's an MP3, so I'm going to stop right there. So the learning organizer, come to our home page here, come down, take a look and you will see, and I'm doing this intentionally so you see what we have. I'm going to come into Exploration Project, Learning Organizer. So we just went over the annotated bib, Learning Organizer. Clicking on it, downloading it. Here's the example. Oh. So here's the question, and you can toggle this together. I would actually prefer that everybody puts the Learning Organizer with the actual annotated bibliography. I like a cover page, as you know, so if you could do a cover page, but here's this, and I stripped out some of the information from this student. So here's the question. Here's an introduction to the module. 5 resources telling how it's done. Final resource. So she had us doing some activities in here. Note-taking tool. There was a presentation, writing excerpts, brief on how to access the video, life sentencing viewing. Then she had a discussion board. So that's what I'm looking for. The Learning Organizer really is telling me as a reader, and it's going to help you organize what exactly you are going to be doing. So once again, I encourage you to take a look at these available resources on Brightspace and go through them. And then also, if you have any questions, please reach out to me. If you want to set up a Zoom, that is fine. We can do that. But once again, so what is due next Sunday are 2 things. The annotated bibliography and also the Learning Organizer. And if you think of the Learning Organizer as a little bit of background and also specifics on what you are going to have us do, meaning reread chapter 8 of our book, take a look at the YouTube video that I sent on the topic, view my PowerPoint that I put together, participate in a discussion forum, something like that. Okay, far too much out of me. Welcome back, everybody. I'll see everybody online. If you have any questions on what exactly you're supposed to be doing in week number 9, let me know. And I appreciate everybody filling out the sign-up sheet for your project presentations coming up. Okay, we'll see you online. Bye, everybody.